It is 7:30. I now call to order the historic town of Eatonville regular council meeting this Tuesday, August 16th, 2022. Mrs. King, do we have a quorum? Yes, we have a quorum. All right, please stand for the invocation by Pastor Smith, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Father, my God, we thank you again for giving us the opportunity to live, move, and have our being. We thank you for the opportunity that we have, God, to serve and to share with those that you have placed in our lives and that you have placed us in theirs. And we thank you again for this community Eatonville that you have placed us in to be stewards. We continue to lift up our administration, our representatives, those that you have allowed to be in this leadership role to make decisions and choices that will be beneficial and advantageous for this community. That you continue to bless them with discretion and wisdom and prudence, they might make decisions again that will be to your glory and to the community good. We thank you for each resident of this community that you have placed in this community to live. We pray that you will continue to bless us to live in harmony and unity with one another, to respect each other's personalities and properties. Again, thank you for this town council meeting. We can further educate us and update us on the state and welfare of this town. We take this moment also to ask that you would bless the Allen family and bless the Randolph family with your peace and your presence, that you would console them and strengthen them in their time now of bereavement, in this time of transition of their loved ones. We pray that you would bless them and keep them and cause your face to shine upon them in the gracious name. Again, ask you for this in Jesus' name that you might be honored. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I ask for a motion that we approve the agenda as presented. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second question.
Yes.
Could I have number 4 move council decision?
All right, all in favor of that?
I would like to move 5 to 6 also.
All right, so I fixed the motion, the approval of the agenda with items 4, 5, and 6 being moved to council decision. It's been moved and second. Yes.
Yeah.
It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes. The agenda has been approved with items 4, 5, and 6 moved to council decision. Next on the agenda, citizen participation. 3 minutes will be strictly enforced.
Our first public participation has come by way of an email on August 16th at 9:14. This is in reference to the in-town suites. The question is, why is this business water still on with a balance of $9,817.38? He was given a $1,600 credit. Why? Mayor Gardner, why is this business still able to have water but refuses to pay the bill? This is how much that he owed as of January. So what is the status in the August bill? Is it paid in full? Next question.
That was a statement. All right, so the next, that's it with that. All right, next person. Thank you.
We have Ryan Noble.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor. Good evening, citizens. Ryan Novak, resident, give your laugh. So if I'm not mistaken, and let's be real, it's probably a coin flip that it might be, but I swore a couple weeks ago, we talked about repaving the tennis courts. And that's awesome. But before we do that, I hope to just bring you guys the magic of pickleball. So what is pickleball? It is the fastest growing sport that I didn't know of until very recently myself, but it is so much fun. Next slide, please. I got 3 minutes. I got to power through. So what is pickleball? You guys can read this on your own, but to distill it down, it is basically tennis played on a much smaller tennis court with giant ping pong paddles and a wiffle ball. So it is much lower impact than tennis and fun to play for really all ages. Next slide, please. It's seen an increase of 650% over the last 6 years, and most of that growth is represented here in Florida. About 60% of the players are in the age group of 55 and over, though the largest age group that we saw in 2020 and 2021 was between 35 and 54 age group, and even players as young as 6 through 17 saw a 20% increase. Next slide, please. Maitland has 2 tennis courts, much like we have here in Eatonville. Over in Minnehaha Park, Winter Park has 6 newly built, purely dedicated to pickleball courts. Now, Maitland, they have one of their tennis courts doubling, so kind of conversional into 4 pickleball courts. So just kind of give you a size scale of what can fit in there. It was very difficult for me to get the stats of the player base, though I found Facebook groups totaling over 5,000 members, just to kind of show its general popularity in our vicinity. Next slide, please. There should be hopefully a play button on that. I really hope there's a play button on that. Please be a play button on that. Yes. So these are our current tennis courts. Oh no, it's not gonna play. That's unfortunate. So I did also take aerial footage of Winter Park and Maitland to give you guys an idea. So if you could go 2 slides forward, please. Oh, it is playing. Okay, this is 45 seconds long. So this is our current tennis courts, and they're about to get repaid because, yeah, that needs it. That needs it badly. So I'm super excited for that. Here's what Maitland has, and over on the left side, the yellow lines are the pickleball lines. So as you can see, 4 fit in the general vicinity of a single tennis court. And then Winter Park, they've got 6 fancy new pickleball courts that are only dedicated to that. So there's no need to come in, swap out nets at a certain interval or time or anything like that. And then here's a couple of people just hanging out and playing. Now, pickleball is normally played as doubles. Oh, man. Next slide, please, if I may. It'll cost about $20,000 to resurface and do everything.
Thank you. Almost. Do you have anyone else in this?
No, that was the last one.
All right, thank you. We now go to our public hearing portion, approval of the first reading of ordinance 2022-5, amending / updating the current policy governing procurement purchasing. Ordinance number 2008-6, adding a new section 2. The motion is on the floor. It's been moved. Is there a second? Attorney Shepherd, just so I'm clear, I cannot second something that I'm putting on the floor, correct?
No, that's not true.
So I can second.
You can't.
So it can be moved and seconded, and then we go
You
to.
can't.
All right, so it's been moved, I'll go and second it. It's been moved and second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Okay.
Nay. So 2 for, 2 against.
If it's, then it doesn't pass. If it's a tie vote, it doesn't pass.
Next item, consent agenda, minutes from June 30th, 2022, minutes from July 19th, also minutes from August 6th. It's been moved and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? You guys have it? For council.
Excuse me, Mayor. Clarify, move, possibly move to the end. Thank you.
Under council decisions, approval of resolution 2022-43, establishing a policy governing charitable donations made by the mayor and town council. It's been moved.
Second discussion.
Second,
Discussion.
yes, Councilman Daniels.
Man, this is about the 3rd time that this has come, and changes that we asked for to happen in this resolution, and to have all the paperwork supporting it to follow along with it, and it's still not conducive to passing.
When we last had it, did you not ask for the pricing?
Man, we asked for pricing. One of the ways we talked about whereas number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We talked about that we know that we need to have for checkers, so we didn't need to mention Orange County government in the RSM report. We mentioned that like 3 or 4 times, and it's still inside of the whereas, so I don't know why it wasn't taken out. We asked for the applications. I see you all went through and added in Florida statute. Did you add that into the resolution? Also, you attached it with it. And then when you go to the facility use agreement, this was talking about other nonprofits being able to use it and all that. And we was coming up with a policy to go in tune with the resolution as well as this document of facility use agreement. And that hasn't been done.
Wait, say the very last part.
The nonprofit agreement,
Correct.
then we're supposed to determine all that, and we're gonna have some kind of guidance to go along with it, to go along with the resolution, the facility use agreement, and the procedures for nonprofits. That was discussed several times, and we keep getting, it was brought back this time with the application that I've asked for, but we didn't even take time to go through and vet it all the way through. To me, it was just added in, say, hey, we put it in there, but it's not going in conducive with it.
Going. What's it gonna look like?
I mean,
Miss,
prime example, man, we didn't even take time, if we changed the application, why we submit this that says statement crossed out, we should have went ahead and addressed it. It's a Word document. So we're professionals, so we should be putting out professional documents and not just throwing something together at the last minute.
I agree with take it back and bring it back to you. Corrected. So we can go ahead and table resolution 2022-43. We'll take another look at it. Ms. Williams, can you please make those notes? If we're all okay, so I'm moving that we table.
So
It's been, oh, I'm sorry, I need to rescind the motion. And then change, so please rescind, I'm rescinding the motion, rescind the
6%.
second. So the motion now is to go ahead and table item number 4.
So
It's been moved and I have a second. It's been moved and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll take another look at it. Any opposed? All right, so 4 ayes. Approval of part-time records and evidence clerk position.
Fair council citizens. This is a position that was offered to the council to help out the current records clerk, responsible overwhelmed. It's in the budget, for the budget process. Just want to get it ahead of the day and get the job description out there, so if you pass it in the budget, it's already done.
So is it in the budget for this year? You're talking
It's in
about
the budget for next year, yes. This is job description that will take effect.
and what's the salary range?
So the budget 15,000.
Is it 15,000?
15,000. Yes. That's what the proposal budget we have here.
It just seems like since it's currently in the budget process and there's going to be discussion about the amount, the salary at this time, why would, and I hear that you want to keep the position, get ahead of the game in the position. Are you also asking for the approval of the,
No, ma'am.
So we'll
I'm
continue
just bringing the job description of what's in the budget.
right?
So if you pass the budget,
Right.
pass presented, then the job description is already done.
All right, so the motion is on the floor.
Okay.
Yes,
My question is, Chief, I mean, we talked in budget time about low crime in our city.
Yes.
And you're asking for another records and evidence called help. what's going on that we have that much work with evidence and
We have a lot of evidence.
as far as
Evidence is the most important part, the next most important part of police work. Evidence room should be maintained, and if it's not maintained correct, that's what makes police department shut down. So if we have a person that's on record and evidence, our current person, which she get overwhelmed because our records is taking so much time, she can't devote the time she needs to making sure that evidence is being properly stored and disposed of for state statute. So we just asking for a part-time person to assist us with that.
department of our size that another agency is at two.
Normally, the department of our size would have a separate person in that position. There were two separate positions. You have an evidence person that does nothing but evidence, and you have a person that does nothing but records.
So chief, we talking $15 and 60 some cents an hour, is that what you're saying? Question for you, something I've been noticing in job descriptions. You don't follow the same format as the town?
Well, I took the current job description for the record evidence person and detailed it for the part-time person because there are state statutes and FDLE rules the person has to follow, so it wouldn't have the same format as the town.
But so I'm just talking about the way of formatting, who this person report to and all that. What I'm trying to do is make sure we stay consistent, so then we don't have issues of who this person reports to, because there's different variations of job descriptions out there. My next thing is, I know it's part-time.
Yes, sir.
So starting salary is $15.62 an hour, up to what?
No, that's gonna be it. We're allocating that amount that the person is gonna set. If they wanna come in on that part-time position, they have to set their salary. That's good.
So you're saying that person will never go past $15.62?
Unless you pass another budget, then they can hire.
So towards my point, and I've talked to Ms. Williams about that. Most job descriptions put a salary range in it. So starting at $15.62 up to $19.75. So then we don't have to keep going back trying to change documents so much and just accountability and stuff like that. That's all I'm asking.
That's fine. I mean, that can be hammered out in the budget.
Yeah, but we're just here for the job
We
description.
just here for the job description.
Right, I get that, and we keep saying this, and in budget meetings, I've said this to you all several times. You bring job description, but you need to have a budget line item go along with it. I understand approving the job description, so then we're gonna approve this job description, right? Then we're gonna go back and we're gonna approve a budget line item for that person, and then we're gonna have to go back and approve the job description again.
No, the job description details the job that you'll be doing for the amount of money that we're going to approve in the budget.
Right, but watch me, chief, and there's a reason I'm saying this.
Yes, sir.
You recently, in the past year or so, had an employee come down there that was down here in town hall, was making $49,000 a year, and we put him into a position. Is that position worth $49,000 a year?
What position that's person's not, we're not discussing that.
No, but follow me.
I got what you're saying. So what I'm saying to you is the person that we put in that position, I felt like that person had the talent and the experience to warrant us to keep her current salary. She asked for her current salary. I could provide it in my budget and I did.
And that's when we face HR issues. Because did you just do it for that person, or would you have done it for someone else? I'm just trying to keep that stigma down, that if you put salary ranges in, then nobody can go in and fight about it because it's within the salary range.
Because the person that had the same job experience and the talents that this person is doing quite naturally, yes.
We just have to be straight across the board with what we do and we're not. Are there any other comments for Chief? So the motion is on the floor, it's been moved and second for comments, correct? So all. Right? It's been moved and second for comments. Okay, I'm just making sure.
Okay.
Okay, so all in favor of the part-time representative evidence clerk position? Let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? So 3 ayes, 1 nay. So it's passed. Job description. The next item on the agenda is approval of towing and record agreement between the town of Eatonville and TRL Towing of Central Florida.
As you know, we're operating on a temporary agreement. We put it out to RFP. We only got one, which is a total, a truck towing company. As I stated in the budget meeting that we beefed up the contract where the town will get something back on deals with that. The tow company would normally just get the free ride. So we're asking for some of those additional funds to come back in this contract.
How long has this towing company been in business?
About 25 years.
And what happened to our previous towing company?
The owner died, the girlfriend took over, she really around and she refused to do service because she couldn't provide the service.
Any more comments? All right, so the motion is on the floor to approve the approval of towing and record agreement
Oh,
between.
1 second, ma'am, sorry. How many trucks do they have? Possibly.
I think 6 trucks they had.
Do they service any other municipalities, governments?
I think 2 Orange County, OPD. And
So is that gonna be enough trucks? You say 6?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll be able to give us adequate service?
they have a 30-minute window.
And if they don't, then what we do?
Then we'll call it back.
All right, so approval of towing and record agreement between Town of Eatonville, TRA Towing of Central Florida. It says so moved by Vice Mayor, second by Councilman Washington. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, next item, resolution 2022-44.
A resolution of the town council of the town of Eatonville, Florida, approving new job position for planning and building department, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
We have already discussed this, so I move approval of resolution 2022-44. It's been moved. I will second. It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? It's 3 ayes, 1 nay. Approval of resolution 2022-48 for Lake Lovely Neighborhood Humford Lake Park improvements. Resolution.
Resolution 2022-48, the resolution of the town council of the town of Eatonville, Florida, supporting the funding for the Lake Lovely Neighborhood Association Humford Lake Park improvements, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date.
Right, motion. On the floor. It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay.
Yes.
Approval of settlement of code enforcement lien for property at 105 North Baltimore Road. Is there a motion? Since I can second, can I move it as well?
Just so we clear, your charter does not mandate the use of Robert's rules, so the answer is yes.
All right, thank you. So I move that we approve the settlement of code enforcement lien for property at 105 North Wildwood Road. Is there a second? It dies for lack of second.
May I speak to this issue just briefly?
Yes.
I understand that there was no second and there's no discussion. I want to at least make it clear that from the position of the town attorney, we think this is a settlement that should be accepted because of the risk of going forward, the cost of going forward, and where this case is. We will absolutely do what you want and have no problem doing it, but I just want to be sure that it's clear that we recommend that you take this up.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we move on. Approval of Lynn's affordable home repair contract for air condition replacement at the police department. It's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, next item, approval of biometric utility contract to install automatic hydrant flushing devices. It's been moved by Vice Chair, second by Councilman Washington. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, it's been approved. Approval of master equity lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Discussion.
It's been moved in second. Councilman Daniels.
Yes, sir.
So is this accounting for the other truck we're talking about moving on as well?
Say it again, sir.
Is this talking about including the other truck we're moving over from the CRA as well?
No, I've had personal inkling about that vehicle, but I'm not in tune with that. Code enforcement. I understand it may be available and this particularly would address the staff that doesn't have quite over right now.
Right, and the other pickup truck that's down in the CRA also. So the question is, if we move those vehicles over, could you reduce this agreement down?
Unfortunately, no, sir, because the vehicles that we're trying to get are vehicles that we use for range and file and day-to-day operations. Those vehicles, in particular, the vehicle that was transferred to the police department were SUVs, one of which particular I was basically working with trucks.
Right, so I'm talking about the pickup trucks at the CRA, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're small, they're smaller, they're not full size. Very small.
So with this agreement, it's a total of how many vehicles?
Right now, it's two. It's two, but we're looking at strong possibility of the third next week.
How many staff do you have?
Right now, we have budgeted for 6. Right now, we have, not that we have 2 minutes to start next week. We're not going to do.
But would everybody be towing heavy equipment at all times?
No, not in particular. We're actually thinking about getting another small trailer. Just before the main trailer that we actually have. Could use some roads as well.
So the purpose of these two trucks is to do the heavy haul.
Yeah, it's the staff, day-to-day operations. We had, and in fact, this event, we had to be able to break down just yesterday. We had told, things to check the vehicle, I think, 20. That's somewhere, that's a little station. That's well over the mileage and it's kind of quite complicated, costly for the repairs.
Your question?
Well, I think that I think we're going to be on these vehicles. I think the stormwater fund to support this vehicle, but that's what the stormwater's for. We like stormwater vehicles. So I'm going to support that. We get these new vehicles. And the vehicles that would be the stormwater, supposed to be the stormwater. So this will eliminate these vehicles that you have that break down. It's not equipped to put these things on, these tools and all these things we have in vehicles that we have now. Stormwater depth, I've been talking about these things for years, right? These vehicles. So I'm looking forward to seeing these vehicles. Before y'all formulate a motion, I want to add, Mr. English was nice enough to send me over the master lease agreement to give it a look, see. I am not a finance guy, so I can't tell you whether it's a good deal, but there is a provision in it that needs to be adjusted. It specifically has to do with indemnity. It says that we will indemnify them and they will indemnify us if things go south. And the reason that's important from a legal standpoint is that cities, as you know, are governed by sovereign immunity, and you do not want to sign a contract with an unlimited indemnity provision because by law, if you do, then those limits on liability don't apply. So that provision needs to be modified. So when you make a motion, assuming someone makes a motion to go forward with this, make it subject to getting the indemnity/liability provision modified. I'm sure enterprise should agree to it. If they deal with governments, it's something that should happen standard.
I actually have an amendment to address that language.
Fantastic. You can do whatever you like, as long as it says what I need to say, we're golden. Yes. Hang on, just a minute.
Sorry, thank you.
This is continue name.
Good to go. That's what I needed.
Did you need a name or anything?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Texas.
I'm Jacob. Nice to meet you.
All right, so I amend the motion previously put on the floor to approve the master equity lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management, subject to modification,
As amended.
as amended, as amended. It's been moved. Is there a second? It's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. No, if it was part, it's nothing, so that would be four. Oh, I'm sorry, all opposed say nay. Attorney Shepherd,
Yes, ma'am.
I know that it died for lack of second, but then you spoke about it and I did not bring it back. Item number, what, the
You know about the
settlement,
code enforcement thing?
yes.
That's okay. I just, if someone wanted to reconsider or bring it back, that without a second, they could have made a second motion. And I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I just want to make it clear. I like to fight, but when I'm fighting somebody else is done, and I feel like something should be settled, I want to make sure I say it.
I mean, because the highest that Attorney Mosley got was like 25 that we even heard, 25,000, but
No, we
even that
both,
was never.
that's the thought. Let me clarify, because my partner Drew has been working on this matter, and he wanted to make that point clear. The only place that 25 has come from, according to Dean Mosley, is from this body, not from the other side. The other side never got anywhere close to 25. Hell, they never, I forget I'm not outside. They never have said, gotten anywhere close to 16, which is where they are now. So what there was a difference between where the council wants to be and where the litigants are. And based on Drew's analysis, this is a good proposal to resolve the matter without spending any more money. But we did confirm, we spoke to Mr. Mosley, and he said, yeah, they've never offered that.
No, they can offer it to us, but that's what we want. I mean, that's what, see, they gave us off.
Yeah, but it wasn't 25 and it
It was
wasn't
25, the 14 I can't accept, but that's what they offer us. We need to offer them what we want.
Yeah, they're offering 16 right now.
Yeah, take a $3,000 bill on the line.
Sure, I get it. So
They're offering 16 now?
Yeah, it was
they're offering
14.
16 now.
It was
Said 14,
14,
it was
2,000.
When did it go up?
Drew was the guy who's been dealing with negotiations, but I had him tell me this before. In fact, he came into my office today to give me the lowdown, because he knew this was on the agenda.
Just have, say, we weren't notified that it went up to 16, this still says 14.
But, I mean, that's still, I mean,
You say you notified today?
I don't know when Drew found out. He came to my office and told me before the meeting, hey, this is on the agenda. I said, what's the offer? It's 16, and I recommend they take it, and you should tell them they should take it. And I said, okay, Ellen.
attorney. Could we count it one last time?
You can do it, look, we'll make it clear. A, happy to litigate it. B, you can count on whatever you want to, it's no problem. I'd already suggested through text to Drew that he get back and circle back with each one of you to figure out, where is a median that he could go back and counter with. And if you want to suggest one here, that's great. And if you want him to just call you and speak to you individually, that's fine too. That's what I suggested since you already passed the item. So if you want to come back to it, you have the opportunity to do that right now. It's on the agenda. So that's fine.
So I received no phone call on that.
No, he would give you a phone call if to try to find out where you want to go with it, if that's what you prefer, or we can discuss it now.
Other question, I see your bill in here and what I've been asking for. Did Attorney Mosley bill us for this as well?
That I don't know.
So we only had this. And it's already late.
And so what's the favor? So we,
But title company have money, that's the title company. That insurance for so. Maybe 16, 14, they're not coming to 25. I think it's $3,000 bill. You talking about $14,000, something. Who was that for?
my.
This board was at fault. The town was at fault, the title company was at fault. Not to find they had a lien on the property, so they get their business. That's how it works. Works the house, make sure you liens are released, or they paid, or you can be stuck with them.
So you're a no.
Definitely.
What is your count? You have a counter?
I think 25 halfway, that's not. Yeah, 25 is not problem.
Can we make a count of 20?
Whatever y'all agree on, we're gonna take the majority of whatever you say, and we're gonna go do that.
Says you 25, because by the time you have legal fees out of it, we'll get to it.
It's 25, that's half of it. They pay all.
I think there's nothing else on the agenda.
So you're not gonna put a count in, Matt?
So you wanna, you didn't say you wanted a mo, did you want a
No, I
motion?
don't need a motion,
Right.
but here's what I hear. I hear it, one person at 20, and I don't know where Mr. Rodney Daniels is. And I hear two people at 25. So even if Mr. Rodney Daniels is at 20, then we've got a divided council. So I still don't know where to go with that. But what we'll do is we'll circle back and speak.
That was good.
Okay,
That'll break the time.
all right, so 20, if we will go back with a proposal this one, see if we can settle.
Okay. All right, we're ready for the attorney's report. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You go to your report, attorney.
I don't have a report as such. I do want to ask, and I could probably in process, and I just don't know, that we go back to the idea of having, I think y'all call it a retreat, but basically an opportunity in the public setting in the town to get together so that our only agenda is to try, at least from my perspective, to be able to work better going forward. I hope that tonight is an indication that there's improvement. That's what it seems like to me, and I hope that's accurate. But I think there's a lot of potential. I've said it before, but there are things that I want to make sure we understand about voting conflicts and about sunshine and public records and all this stuff, so that we can kind of move the town in a good direction. And some things that are procedural. One of the things, for example, tonight that Ms. King asked me, I'm glad she did, was what about reading the title of these things? Well, the best place to do that procedurally is before you even start discussing it, so that way you don't forget it. So whether it's a resolution or ordinance, it would be, we're at resolution such and such, and then Ms. King would speak up and say, resolution such and such read by title only, then she reads the rest of the title, and when that part's over, you're good to go, whatever you do. And and there's a number of things like that. Like if I know when the date is and I'm free, I'll make some cheat sheets, if you will, to get us on the page. But I think that's a positive thing, and I hope that is an indication of a better working relationship. You don't have to agree, you shouldn't always agree, but at least you can figure out a way to move forward. That's what
So I'm gonna ask this for us to try again to hold the board. got to set another retreat. All right, we're ready for council reports. Councilman Washington.
Thank you, Mayor. I think about tonight today and my condolences to the families of great loss and deceased family. I did attend the Portland City Convention Conference, and the information that I got from those gentlemen and networking with other cities, and it was so amazing that things that we do here, we're listening to what they do, it's so different, and it's so amazing the things we talk about. So I did reach out to a lot of the companies, to vendors here that we deal with, to be a part of our community and bring stuff back to the staff. I had some other things I can go back to the Stevens and I got with Williams and some things with companies that I talked with down there at the convention. So it was an amazing event. So looking forward to another couple of years. I don't know when to do it later, 2 years. So that was my thank you.
All right, Vice Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, Chief, do we have a nuisance abatement ordinance in place?
We do. We just.
Okay.
I do. We have a nuisance abatement board. I think it's weird on that. There's not a nuisance abatement board.
That's what we need.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because, you know, I heard the mayor's TV interview and, you know, their situation over at the hotel with 400 calls. And I was wondering, would that nuisance abatement ordinance take effect? Or would it have, instead of letting it go on?
The board, yes.
So we gotta get a board in place, so we gotta get that established, so we can shut down these places that are causing us, what, that 400 calls in a month or something like that? Yeah. Okay, that's one thing we need to work on as a board. Thank you, Chief. Also, where are we, this is for the mayor, she can give it to me in writing again. Where are we with Mr. James Benderson and his back pay? Mr. English, this is for you in Public Works. You don't have to get it right now. You can just address it on email. That crossing sign over at East and Kennedy is still down, if I'm not mistaken. It's on the ground. I mean, car hit it. It's been down at least, gotta be going on 3 weeks. If nothing else, we just pick it up until we're able to fix it and, you know, put it maybe at the barn or whatever. Also at Washington and Kennedy, again, there's a manhole. It's more concrete, but I think wires are exposed and it's in the grass. I had someone say that it's part of our fiber optics, and maybe not us, maybe whoever is responsible, maybe they can get some over so that it doesn't damage cars, and we don't damage any wiring that's on there at Kennedy and Washington Street. Also, Mr. English, Ms. Willie Mae Ford on Peoples and Ruffle has asked for a sidewalk repair. I think she's been asking for that for at least about 2 years now. We haven't gotten around, but I know you're getting on to that. Hurricane season is coming up also, Mr. English. Where are we with the generators on our lift stations? Also, I had a concern with a resident, Mr. Madison, had an alarm going off, and there wasn't any numbers on our lift stations as far as giving a call to that on-call duty person so that they can come and, you know, switch those switches off, because we don't need a backup or, you know, the switch or whatever. So we can get on that, Mr. English. Also, can you give me an update on the ring lift station? I thought we had a $600,000 grants for the upkeep and upgrade of that. So you don't have to address it right now, but you can get back with me in a email. I would definitely appreciate that. And definitely those numbers, the call numbers for the lift stations are very important as well. Also, I would like to ask Ms. King, I will get with you. I was going to get a resolution for the Universal Kings and Queens, the only bike club right here in the town of Eatonville. They're celebrating their anniversary, their annual. So I will get with you so that they can get a resolution. Also, this is to Attorney Shepherd. No disrespect, but I prefer Schumer over you. As far as the other, I like his demeanor more. So I don't know if he's you're his boss and he works in your firm. I like Schumer. He's good people. I like him. You don't have to address it. Also, Mr. Allen, like I guess an uncle, grandfather, father figure, great guy. You know, Brittany little Reggie, Ashley, Stephanie. I know they're hurting right now, so my prayers go out to them. Also, Mr. James Randolph. I had the opportunity that we battled a couple, I think just one time in an election. And I think we handled it with dignity and grace. And my condolences go out to the Randolph family as well. Also, as I always end, I'll never forget about Raymond James. I'll never forget about Michelle Cole. I would never forget about Confidence Pringle. And I would never forget about Mr. Jackson during the investigation of the James brothers. People have a great evening.
Councilman Martin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank everyone for coming out. Just a couple things. I will address the water bill issue. A resident contacted me as well. Actually, they sent it to me in email. I wasn't aware of it. I just think we got to be fair across the board when it comes down to water bill. For a business to have a $9,000 water bill, that really needs to be addressed. And I'll probably give Ms. Gibson to know what our policy states, because that's a healthy amount. And if there's any other commercial property that has bills like that high. I would like to have a copy of a vendor list. As a town, we should have a vendor list of all of our vendors, our preferred vendors and all that. We should know who those people are. It shouldn't be health hazard that people come out of nowhere and say they're a vendor. So we should have vetted everybody and know who those people are. Mr. English, all this kind of ties in together. I've had several complaints from residents on the phone tree. So we have residents that say that they're not getting these phone trees. So I don't know what we need to do to update it. Residents, they know that we're putting up boil water. And I don't know if people know, the boil water was just canceled on, was that Monday at 11:45. I find it kind of ironic that I sent an email at 11:01 because I have a newborn baby. And if I wasn't an elected official and didn't know, I would be pissed off. Excuse my language, everybody. I would be pissed off if my baby would have got sick. And someone would have some questions to answer. It's no excuse that phone trees do not go out when it comes down to public safety. But it's okay for phone trees to go out for events that's not town function. We get all those phone trees. But when it comes down to public safety, I have a serious issue with that. It should never happen again. We had a boil water notice put in the door. There was no notice rescinding the boil water that it wasn't actually in effect in writing. And then I'm told that, hey, you know, we're waiting on biometrics to give us, we should have a standard form that we go through and put date and time on. And then when it's rescinded, well, heck, I'm gonna go ahead and say it this way. We should go ahead and invest in door hangers. And then we just gotta print out stickers and put the sticker on the door hanger and put on people's doors. So there's no excuse that residents don't know that the doggone water needs to be boiled. And if I sound like I'm pissed off, I am. I am pissed off with this boiled water. Residents did not know. I have neighbors ask me, hey, are we up on the boiled water now? I went out and spent, an older lady said she went out and spent her last $20, $30 on water. That's bad. We have to do better on that. I recently asked for a front gate invoices. So, Ms. English, can you tell me, do we have anybody on staff that can help fix broken lights?
Yes, sir. Certainly we have some staff that can fix line. It all depends on the break itself and the leak itself. Smaller leaks, we can handle in-house. It will be one of the problems that we have.
Is it possible to send our staff out to get more training on things of that nature?
There's hands-on training that we're training the newest members of the staff. But here again, they could probably don't equipment, trucks, and equipment to deal with this. In particular,
So are we trying to put any of this in our next budget and ask for grants and all that too?
As a matter of fact, one of the pieces of equipment, but not on a large scale, we're trying to get it back to. That's what we need. larger truck. There's a factory that's in the yard that we bought many years ago. It's been broke back in the 80s. Trying to do a bigger truck to pull it to.
My next thing for you, labor pool. We have an extensive bill. The last check I signed was over $7,000 for labor pool. We don't think it's cost effective to go ahead and hire staff instead of keep paying labor pool all this money.
Yes, it is. It's cost effective to hire staff, but finding staff, qualified staff, kind of difficult. We do have a new staff member on board. It's not to stay home.
Would you please, Mark,
I'm sorry.
can we hold our conversation, please? It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, we're interviewing next week, hopefully, as we receive the recent application. We have a new member coming on board Monday in our state.
Former Mayor Grant sent an email roughly 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I had multiple issues, people saying my sidewalk repair. And ironically, I was driving the other day. And I see the individual fixing our sidewalks. Explain to me how someone is out fixing sidewalks outside of like a Motorola Corolla car. Are they a business? Is that person a business? Because I have a picture of it.
Oh, no, that person is not a business, is working on behalf of labor. We're doing various areas.
So if that sidewalk breaks, who's responsible? Is it insured, his quality of work?
Well, he's working for labor fine, he's working in my direction.
But you weren't there, Mr. Lewis, supervising. No town employee was there supervising. He had 2 or 3 2x4s in the back, and I see him in front of Ben Johnson. I see him up on Kennedy and all that. Do we think that's right? Do you think the taxpayers of the historic town being deserve to have someone fixing our sidewalks out the back side of a car instead of hiring somebody professionally to get it done the right way?
This is a professional hire. This is a professional who comes out of qualified through labor fund. They have all types of employees. From laborers on up to electricians and everything in between. I asked them to find me somebody that was skilled in concrete, brick, block, and et cetera. And this is the person that we have. He's qualified.
So has any of the work he done had to be redone or not passed the test? Because I see the work in Calhoun Park. At Park, you think that sidewalk is the standard?
It's safe. It's definitely safe. I don't think it's. I think we could have done a better job. And
Which sidewalk?
Raven Park.
The one that you did
Yeah,
with our employees?
He was there. No, that gentleman was there.
Yeah, he was there, and I was there, and everybody on deck was there, and sidewalk is safe. If you compare the sidewalk right now to what it was prior to that, there's a 99% improvement. And safety, you cannot trip on that sidewalk. That sidewalk, not only that, sidewalks, we have many issues with sidewalks.
If you're standing behind him, I would love to have a copy of his qualifications for that. And then also I want you to send me an email and let me know who's going to handle anything, if it's a warranty defect or whatever. I really want to know that. If it's on town or if it's on labor finance. Okay. Thank you. My next thing is Founder's Day. I still haven't seen the MOU, Mayor. I haven't seen any documentation of what's the actual location of Founder's Day. Residents ask me about how do they get tickets, and we know nothing about that. And I'm going to publicly say, Ms. Williams, thank you for saying that I'll be given 5 tickets, but I'm going to decline my tickets because the residents at historic town of Eatonville cannot bring their family out for our Founder's Day. I will not take a ticket as well. And on behalf of the Randolph and Allen family, they're in my prayers, and let's just continue to keep them uplifted. Thank you.
All right, it is 8:28. Thank everyone for coming out. I wanted to, that water bill situation, when I took office, I think the former mayor told me, hey, good luck, it's 16,000. And since then, it's now 9,000. We just met with the owner. For me to ascertain what exactly the problem was, we did come to a conclusion. And we are getting, we just need a couple more pieces of information that Mr. English was getting in regards to what needed to be credited. And then once that's done, we put it in a letter. We're gonna have Attorney Shepherd take a look at it for clarity and legality, and then that is solved. Mr. Novak pickleball. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but definitely a way to stay in shape or get in shape with whichever way. I do look forward to a retreat. I think it is necessary for us to open up and just state what we want to state, what we need to state, get it off our chest. I think that would be healthy if you do it in a healthy manner. Founders Day, I look forward to Founders Day. As you know, initially I wanted everyone in the town to go to Founders Day. Then I wanted 2 free tickets per event. And then if you know anything about this Founders Day and the work that's been put into it, it costs money. So now we're down to 1 ticket per family, but then any ticket after is $25. That's not a lot. It really isn't. You can go Sally's and spend that with a couple of items. That's not too much to ask for a quality event. And then next time, then we'll make sure that we try to get it free for everyone. So, but coming into office in March, April, May, June, July, August, I think that what you are getting far outweighs $25, and you're getting some of that back from what was paid into Main Street. That's what it's there for. So I hope that everyone comes out to enjoy themselves. Again, $25. In regards to the tickets, there should have been a call, but it would have been through the CRA line on Thursday. And these times are going to conflict with a couple of things that are going on in the town. But Thursday and Friday from 5 to 7, I will be at the Dick Johnson Center. And to give a ticket to each household, the call should have gone out. If you're not getting calls, please contact the town so we can get your number into the system. Because we didn't use the town system because that's for emergency purposes. We use the CRA system. So please contact the town. Thursday and Friday from 5 to 7, the tickets will be given out. Oh, you just bring ID, like your last water bill. Because people have moved. So an ID, you may not change your ID for 3 years. Just to keep it fair. But again, next year we do better. But this is definitely a great place to start. Ms. Williams, hopefully you took notes of everything, all the concerns, because I do hear Councilman Garland Daniels and Vice Mayor Daniels with the repairs. In November, in the next election, that penny sales tax that Mayor Demings is pushing, the town will could receive up to $200 and something thousand a year to start fixing sidewalks, to fix all the sidewalks. If you're getting $200 and something thousand a year, we can get all the sidewalks fixed. So I do ask that we think about that when you go to vote. I hope everyone is voting, because that will definitely affect our town. And that will help get things done in our town that we need. Until then, we will use the budget process and capital improvement plans to help us get a path forward. Other than that, and condolences to the families. The Allen family, the Randolph family, the Holmes family. We've had several deaths in the last 2-3 months. So condolences to all of the families, because death will always be with us. There's still worse to say. So with that being said, I move that we adjourn. It's been moved to second.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor, say aye. Good night.
But that was all. Yeah.